Namaste to you all. I hope you've all had a wonderful week. Good evening again, once you beautiful souls. We've had a wonderful week out here in Portugal. The heat is just getting so intense. Oh my word. It's just going up and up and up and up and up. But let's not worry about that because it's something to enjoy. So let's not complain. So, like I said, I hope you've all had a wonderful week, and I've got a fabulous presentation for you today. Something for us to really get our teeth into, something that's going to continue from last week, but we're just going to go into it a little bit deeper and with a little bit more of an essence, so you can grab some more essence of the whole entire picture. So I'm going to be, let me just draw up the presentation. Let's dive straight into it, because I got my shirt pulled last week and say, yo, Trevor, you know, say you talk too much, you know. So Tarun, just slow it down a little bit, just bring it in, consolidate it a little bit. So I'm going to be going like mouth to mouth today, because I've got so much to share with you. I'm considering this. There's a few things that's going to be happening in the month of June. I'm going to be starting the website is going to be updated with new information. The classes are going to be opening. I'm going to be telling you more about that shortly. So let's just wait for some more people to join. Without further ado, let's jump into the presentation, because I really want to zip through this. I wish I really had more time. If you don't think I should start earlier, so we can have a little bit more time to get into the knowledge, so I don't have to be racing, and we can digest it, and then we can drop into the meditation for 9 o'clock, 10 past 9, the latest. Leave your comments, let me know. Okay, let's do this. Let us get into the magic. Right, so today's session is all about the heights of being, not the heights of doing, the heights of being. And we're going to be looking at this through a very special, well, it's very dear to me, this aspect of knowledge. It really brings out the colors of understanding when it comes to the chakras and what they're really meant for, and what they're really, the heights of what they're supposed to be all about, and how you raise them. So, and I'm gonna be bringing in a beautiful concept for you to enjoy. I'm gonna be teaching you a visual meditation to take away with the prana now. So we're gonna upgrade it. We're not gonna do it today because it's gonna be hard. So get the copy of the PDF when it's done. It'll be up on the website. Grab a copy of the PDF and practice this in your own time. It's going to be really powerful. So without further ado, let's go to the first slide. Wow, what a confusion already. So, okay. So, yes, we've got the flies and the mosquitoes running around. The mosquito then turn big out, Them come up from baby stage and swell up like football. But anyway, let's have some fun with this. So, this first slide, it's depicting 5 personalities that were the core of the creme of Vedic literature, which is presented in Bhagavad Gita. Now, Bhagavad Gita is a very special book. We're going to go into even more detail as we go along. These primary 5 characters, they represent the heights of the development of the chakras, and we all have these personalities within us, and reaching these ideologies in the development of the chakras is not just to have them balanced, but it's to have them in accordance of working with your intentions, your goals, your whole entire life. This is outside of just doing a breathing exercise and just thinking about the chakras and colors. This is something that you develop within your aptitude. The aptitude sets the attitude. The attitude sets the heights. Okay, so Another way of looking at the Pandavas is through the eyes of yoga, which says that the world we see around us is made up of the 5 tattvas. Now, we've spoke about the 5 elements, okay? But this time we're looking at it through a physiological aspect, through sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. Those are the senses that excite the 5 senses and bring information to the inner being. And this is how we correlate how life works. So now the senses are predominantly ruled by a particular chakra. Even though all the chakras are involved with all the senses, each chakra is influenced by a certain attribute, a certain tattva, a certain, like it says there, a certain element of being. So let's just jump into the first one. The Muladhara chakra, Sahadev. Sahadev, resisting temptation. So the root chakra is all about control of the energy of lust. Now, lust is not just sex. Lust is, boy, I fancy some food. Boy, I fancy this. Boy, I fancy that. And where do you feel lust in your being? You feel it in your lower stomach, regardless of what it is. It's like, yeah, I fancy something. And that sensation, if you're really sensitive to your being, you will know that those habits, those desires, you feel it in your gut, you feel it. So it's almost like your gut has its own language of communication with you, okay? So meditation is a great way to quiet your mind and spirit. It helps you to focus on simply living, breathing, and being. When you are in the meditative state, you are more able to control the wandering nature of the mind and senses. The only spiritual way to calm lust is to overcome the root of all ignorance that consists in material identification with the gross physical body and its selfish and egotistical attachments. So the Muladhara chakra is all responsible mostly for the earthing of the physical being. But without paying attention to it, it will get attached to ideologies of the external world. And what you do, you start craving things in the external world because you're just allowing the body to drift, the mind and the body and the senses to drift. And without any control, the lust builds up, the anguish builds up, the anchoring builds up. The way you quieten that down is through meditation, through pranayama, and through even yoga is really good for this. But definitely the root chakra is all about controlling the energy of lust and resisting temptation. And this is the beginning of all spiritual works. Wally people out there say, yeah, man, I'm spiritual, you know, but they have no control over their lustful ways. Not just sex, but everything else. As soon as somebody offers something to them, yeah, I'll have that. Yeah, man, I'll try that. Yeah, man, I'll have that. No control, just diving straight in. You understand? So we have to be able to gauge this, control that, know when it is then we've had enough, when it is that we don't need it more than we want it. We have to control that thing. Okay, let's bring some balance into this. Okay, so let's jump into the next one. Swadisthana chakra, Nakula. Nakula is the personality that represents virtue in the 5 Pandavas. The 7 heavenly virtues are faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice, temperance, and prudence. These 7 virtues are the pillars of truth. And these are developed in the 2nd chakra, the sacral chakra, because when the sacral chakra can really get egotistical. This is where the energy of lust can turn into sexual lust, and it can go way out of control. And most people, the tongue tied with the sacral chakra, they will forget what they want. You understand? So to control the idea of being, so you are living truth. The truth is the highest virtue, but higher than truth is living truth. Yeah, truthful living. And this is developed through an understanding and awareness of how you apply the 7 virtues. The 7 virtues, like I said, faith, hope, charity, being charitable, fortitude. Fortitude means to be courageous in pain or adversity. You're standing up for your inner truth, regardless of what a man said, how a man be, what a man wants to present to you. You know, you are standing up for your truth. You're staying grounded in your truth. Okay? Justice. The second chakra is very much associated with knowing what to do from what's right, from what's wrong. Now, once you develop, you control your lust, you control your being from the first chakra. The next thing is to control your ideology of what's right from what's wrong. Okay? And living in your truth. Okay, we go to the third chakra, Manipura chakra. Arjuna, he was the warrior. Arjuna is considered, everyone has an aspect of Arjuna within them. When you get a chance to read the Gita, when we go through the Gita, we're going to understand what this actually means, because the Gita is written in macrocosm and microcosm, so it applies to the self. All the characters reflect an ideology of being, and it shows you how to deal with all these aspects. Duryodhana means 1,000 desires, and Arjuna was fighting Duryodhana and his whole army. And within this, it's the willpower, self-control, courage, and willpower. The Manipura chakra provides a source of personal power and relates to self-esteem, warrior energy, and the power of transformation, associated with the element of fire. The third chakra is the source of your power. This is the solar plexus. This is where the energy of being arises. If your solar plexus is out of function, you're gonna feel like you're not bothered. This is where laziness comes in. This is when you get pulled from side to side. This is when you ain't got no control. This is now that when you gather all your elements of being and you focus it in your will, in your purpose of life. This is when you raise the fire of being. This is when you get the excitement for love. And this is where the core of developing the characteristics of living to love and loving to live in truth. Not just accepting anything and doing what this one's doing, or your neighbor, that, or your friend. Oh, come on, could do this, or yeah, maybe we should. No. Whatever you believe in, or whatever you see for you, you have to stand up strong. And this is the Manipura chakra. This is the fire energy. This is where you get your zest of life. Okay? Stand up for what you believe in, even if it's unpopular. It's a concept that we're all facing nowadays. Okay? So much narratives coming on from news, this, that, the other, even down to the whole heap of people don't like wear masks, and when you're going into this and you have to put this stupid mask on. All right, let me put on the mask for 5 minutes. All these aspects of being it's almost like it is tampering with your solar plexus energy. Yeah, when you feel something testing your will, you feel it in your solar plexus, and this is when you feel that rage where you want to fight something out. Again, the solar plexus is a very special place, because this is where the beginning of restoration kind of flourishes, and it drives the energy up to the heart chakra. The fire inflames and brings you to life. Feel and follow your gut instinct. So the gut instinct, which is below the solar plexus, again, once your root chakra is stable, once your second chakra is focused in the energy of raising that kundalini essence to the fire, okay, this is where the fire now turns to will and direction. Have a healthy self-esteem. Be ambitious and feel empowered to create a life you love. Set clear boundaries in your personal and professional life. Let go of thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors that serve you no purpose no longer. So you will find that, lockdown has been a very serious, what would I say, imposition. You know, it's forced people to do things they don't want to do, stay locked up in their house, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we understand there's a pandemic, anything what you want to do, so just keep safe, stay at home, all of that. But what has happened is that there's a mental aptitude that's developed through that, which has lowered the vibration of being, because most people don't want to be in their house. They don't want to stay locked up. They want to go out. They want to enjoy life. They want to move. They want to exercise. They want to live. They want to connect. And within staying in the withdrawn circuits, the position of just your home, and you lose that connectivity with friends, families, and loved ones, your whole personality, your whole being starts to change. You start to diminish. You start to limit yourself. You start to become afraid of socializing. You start to become afraid of connecting with the world. Now, it's the Manipura chakra. It's that raw energy, that element that is associated with fire. Same in Kemetic knowledge, Ra represents the fire, the light. So this is what needs to be raised. Okay, let's go into this. Anhata Chakra, Bhishma. Bhishma was a strong warrior. He represents the life force, control of the flow of prana. Prana, again, like I said, in the recharging and the resurgence of prana in the body, what we've been doing so far is just replenishing. Replenishing, when we go through the exercises of pranic exercise, we find that we become more of how we want to be, more of how we want to feel, more of how we want to sense life. But what we need to do is get this on a consistency. So this energy is helping us to drive our life through everyday living. Okay, in Sanskrit, Anhata means unhurt, unstruck, and unbeaten. It is the fourth primary chakra and serves as our center of love for oneself and others, compassion, empathy, and forgiveness. The Anhata chakra is associated with unconditional love, compassion, and joy. This chakra governs one's sense of trust, fearlessness, peace, generosity, gratitude, and connectedness, as well as change and transformation. Most people don't like change. When you get forced to change and you get stuck in that place of change, it's hard for you to change back. It's hard for you to even change. Now you're waiting for the next instruction from someone else to tell you how to change and what to do. You've kind of lost all ideologies of doing things for yourself, or driving, or find that ambition to be and love and connect. This is a quality that we cannot let go of. And this quality develops in the heart. When we feel that lack of love, when we feel that lack of empathy, when we feel that lack of trust, when we feel fearful, when we feel out of alignment with peace, when we feel greedy, when we feel, all those words that you see, gratitude, when there's no gratitude, when there's no connection, you feel it in your heart. You feel it in your heart. So when you know, that sadness of even loneliness, or all these aspects of being that are uncomfortable, you feel them in your heart. You understand? So to bring that heart into a positive place, it's all in the meditation, it's all in the pranayamic breathing as your cornerstone, and it's all about keeping a consistency with it so you can be able to live like that on a daily basis. Okay? You create your own narrative, you create your own way of being, and you create your own pattern of existence. You create what you accept for you. Okay. Vishuddha chakra, Yudhisthira, divine calmness, the steadiness within. Yudhisthira is the eldest Pandavas. Yeah, he's the prince of them. Yudhisthira comes from the root word Yudam. Staryam. These words really twist me up sometimes. Meaning the one who is ready in war. That means you're ready and you're steady. You're fixed and you're focused and you're calm and you're cool and collective. You know, like when you see Bruce Lee, I stand up there and they'll go, yeah, you're ready. Anytime, anybody want to come, you're ready. He's not sweating. He's like, all right, okay, what do I do next? No, the one who's in anger, the one who's in fear, the one who's dispositioned in life, war, whatever you want to call it, that's what brings you down. That's what shortens your lifespan. That's what's going to make you lose the war. You need steadfastness. You need concentration in your wholeness of being. In Sanskrit, Vishuddha means especially pure. As the throat chakra governs the mouth, tongue, and neck, it relates to the communication of your ability to understand and speak your inner truth. Wally but people afraid to speak them in the truth, you know. We say, well, me rather not talk right now. Me just expect things going and just, you know, not really get involved. No, speak your truth. Stand up for who you are, because one day that idea, you see why the whole place is fighting for freedom of speech. You have the right to be. Don't let nobody take that from you. Don't let that mental ideology set on you. Okay, so I'm gonna just wheel back up to the beginning and just look at this, because this is only representing 5 of the chakras. A whole heap of people are talking about, yeah, my third eye, yeah, this, that, and the other, red, blah, blah, rare, and whatnot. Some people are taking what they call super drugs, ayahuasca, whatever, now, to open the third eye and see things and rare. But the lower chakras, they're completely unstable. There's no work done on them. So what's going to happen there? You're going to be tipsy, topsy-turvy. You're going to be, okay, oh, I got my eyes, my third eye chakra, yeah, I can see things. Listen, let me tell you, divinity within the third eye is not going to be stable, accurate, or any of these things without these 5 principles that you have to work on. And you see, when you get these 5 principles right, when you put that energy into getting these 5 aspects of being right, then the inner God in you comes in and works on the rest, okay? So you need to do the work on the first 5. Don't worry about the third eye. Don't worry about the crown chakra. Get these 5 pillars right. Get them right, and then the third eye will do its own thing. Once the heart chakra's done the work and the throat chakra's done the work, the third eye chakra will automatically come into alignment. And then the divine crown chakra will automatically come into alignment. So, you know, you don't live in your head. A whole heap of people think that they live in their head. They think that they're their minds. You know, there's a mind-body connection where you think you're the mind, you think you're the body. No, you're the essence of you is in the heart. So you have to get these principles right to understand and really appreciate how the third eye is going to work. And this is the process of what we go through in the breathing. In the breathing, we clear out the old pranic state. We get rid of that. And then we bring a resonance to the lower chakra, which aligns in order for all the chakras to line up perfectly. Okay. And then we sync with our being in the heart. And as you know, most of the times I don't tell you to concentrate on it. I tell you to keep the peace. You know, just put your mind nowhere. Don't even try and picture anything. Don't imagine anything. Just be peaceful. And in this, you automatically feel a sensation from the third eye. You feel this sort of DMT experience happening. And this is because the pranayamic exercise that we do has taken care of the 5 pillars. They've aligned them. So these things can now operate. Okay, so it's very important that you understand this concept of being. And the way how I've done it is so beautiful. This is why in the group, I've been doing Psalms 23 every day to get it on your tongues and onto your mind, because what I'm going to show you now is a meditation, because it doesn't matter if it's, like I said, it doesn't matter what language, whether it's Sanskrit, whether it's Hebrew, whether it's Aramaic, Ge'ez, blah, blah, blah. It's the intention that counts, the intention from the heart. Psalms 23 is a very famous prayer. And in this, we're going to use it as the mantra for developing that taste, for developing the senses. So what I'm going to show you today is a very beautiful way of how we now bring a visual concept into our meditation and create that perception of control, that perception of being in alignment with the prayer, in alignment with the visuals, in alignment with the chakras. And you're going to trust me, you download this, you take it in your home, in your own time and your space, and you will sense the power in this meditation. There's other meditations that are exactly the same, but this is so beautiful because we can all relate to Psalms 23. We grow with that. You understand? We grow with that and it's something that carries no negative vibration. You understand? It brings a sense of beauty to the heart every time we hear it. So without further ado, let's dive straight in on how we can use Psalms 23 to develop our inner being, our chakras, our state. Okay, let's go. The Lord is my shepherd. See him standing before you. Place your trust in him, feeling the presence within. The first line opens the foundation of devotion in this Psalms. So the Lord is my shepherd. You're saying, you're literally saying nothing else is your shepherd. You're not getting dragged to the left, to the right, to nothing. This is a time when you're going to sit down and concentrate on just being between you and the divinity within you, the God within you, the super soul within you. And it's setting the foundation. A prayer time. Now is the time for me to just concentrate on the shepherd, the guide, the light within. I don't want to hear no disturbance from nothing. I don't want to hear no yiggy yaga. This is my time now. And you say, the Lord is my shepherd, you cut everything out. The noise cuts, cut out all noise pollution. First chakra, positioned at the tailbone, the earth element, and issues the survival, supplies energy to the legs and eliminative organs. So this is like feces and stuff like that. It operates to get rid of waste and toxins out of the body and keeps the body regulated. So, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The energy of focus is to overcome temptation. Okay? The aspiring saint casts aside all lesser desires to focus full attention and willingness on finding God alone. I shall not want. This is the root chakra, okay? Earth element. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. We're still in the first chakra. Feeling, keeping watch over you. So in this one, you imagine a nice, beautiful setting, a garden, a nature, trees, beautiful scenery, and you're just there. You just imagine that in your mind. So you could say the Lord, you literally, each line you could say 3 times to empower it. So you bring confirmation to the line. So he maketh me to lie in green pastures. He maketh me to lie in green pastures. He maketh me to lie in green pastures. And the more that you're saying that, you're grounding yourself with the earth element, and you're focusing on the ideology of I shall not want, I shall not lack, I shall not desire anything because I have everything all here with me now. I don't need nothing right now than my concentration to focus on my inner being. This first creates a wonderful image of being cared for and sustained by the Lord. Second chakra, based at the sacrum, the water element, creative impulse, sex energy, and sexual organs. He leadeth me beside still waters. Can you see? We're going up, we're going up, we're going up, we're going up. See the clear water of a beautiful mountain lake, reflective, cool, and still. Rest. Reflect. The still water is fresh, clean water, not lifeless stagnation. This image is about transmuting the sexual energy into something exalted, rare and beautiful. That energy in Sanskrit is known as ojas. Do you know how long it takes to create? Like you could have sex 7 days a week, and you know how much you're going to deplete yourself in that process. Do you know how long it takes to make one drop of ojas? Ojas is the energy that leaves the base of the spine and travels up to feed the spine energy and your brain energy and all the functions of the brain. Now, this ojas, you eat today, it takes 30 days for that food to digest and go through all your system, through the stomach, the bile, the blood, the bones. And once it's gone through all your system, it now knows your system. So it now is reached a place where it can now travel to the brain. You cannot have fluids go to the brain that doesn't know the body. It has to go through the entire body before it can approach the brain. So as you eat the food, it slowly purifies, it turns into this subtle energy that now can feed the brain along with prana. This is ojas, okay? Remembering that this sound is about the inner spine, it is helpful to ask, how can I keep myself sensitively aware of this divine energy flowing in the center of my being, and what would give beautiful, refreshing beauty to the sexual and creative impulse? So this is the energy that changes you into a genius. You take it from a low state of being and you transmute it. You bring it up higher in your being. This is the rising of the Kundalini energy. This is the rising of pure energy in the being, that you can now be creative. You can now connect with the abundancy of opportunities and life energy that's just waiting for you to dive into and get that taste of really living to love and loving to live. Still waters run deep. We know this. We're still in the second chakra. The soul is felt in deep inner quietness. Be still and know that I am God. How much times have we heard that? It's in the stillness, that we sense that purity of being, that connection, that connectivity with divinity. You can't be rampant and all of this and that. Yeah, man, me know God. Yeah, man, me know say me watch over me. Yeah, man, me know say me have him. Me have God, man. Me there with God. Yeah, man. No, if you don't take time to find your place, that you're in a place of stillness, so you can appreciate you can appreciate the essence of being, appreciate, and appreciate that sense of gratitude, of knowing that you have God with you, and that inner being loves you more than your conscious self can love you. You've got to be able to connect with this, okay? The most profound example of the still waters is seen in the saint who has transmuted the physical longing altogether, inwardly merging with their heart's love with the divine self and the super soul, the position of Godhead within. Everything is relative. Varying degrees of stillness can be experienced in how one handles the sex force. When an individual becomes fixated on sensual desires and/or depletes the sexual energy in its raw physical form through excessive use, there enters a great restlessness and loss of soul quality, as well as mental and physical weakness. So you're dashing away your strength. You're dashing away your ability to focus. You're dashing your ability to stick to the goal in hand. You become weak all over. Third chakra, at the navel, fire element, fiery self-control, giving the ability to follow guidelines for spiritual living, self-discipline, feeds the abdominal organs. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. So, powerful. He restoreth my soul. So restoration of the soul begins at the third chakra. When you decide to become courageous, when you decide to step up your game and leave scorn, leave pride, leave anger. When you step into the area of courage, this is when you start the ability to restore the soul. I mean, outside of the restoration of the soul, you have to understand the soul cannot be cut, burnt, withered, burnt, drowned, or anything. You're an internal being, but your relative perception of how you be, okay, is all in alignment with this. Because if you can't sense it, you can't be it. So you've got to restore the ideology of the power of the soul and live in that. And this is the third chakra. Okay, feel divine strength at the navel area, radiating all through your abdomen. Feel that as you are, your determination to follow divine will, it creates a pathway within you to reach the higher realities. The soul is restored as we live in alignment with spiritual truth. Spiritual guidelines help us to avoid major pitfalls that might take us away from the nature of the soul. The nature of the soul, which resides in the heart, is one of selflessness, it's one of unconditional love, it's one of compassion, empathy, and all of these states. And without having the courage to step towards that sentiment of being, then we will drift through life. Some people, what did I say? They live and get buried. They live without living. There's a saying. I remember a saying there, because some people live. How's it go? I can't remember it. When I remember it, I'll put it in the group. It's a beautiful saying. Something like, some people die at 18 years old and they get buried at 70. So by the time you reach once you've gone through your early stages of being, you just lose the essence of life, and you're just there like a monotone being. You don't get into yourself. And then you die at an old age with so much regret of not actually living. So the key to living is to approach the heart so everything else can flourish. The fourth chakra at the heart, air element, human and divine love, feeds the heart, lungs, arms, and hands. Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Remember, the heart chakra is fearless to love. It's fearless to be. It's fearless in its characteristics of being compassion or empathetic. You don't feel like you're being used. You don't feel like, I wonder if I should. You don't have these thoughts that of doubt. You understand? The heart chakra overrides all of those states of being. Visualize a glowing ball of light in your heart. With each breath, increases its radiance and feel the warmth emanating from it. Invite the divine presence to dwell in your heart always. Visualize a form of divinity radiating divine love, guidance, and protection. And this is all within, there's a special secret meditation that's taught in Vedantic philosophy, where you sit down and you see the lotus flower of the heart, and you see the heart blossom open, you see the lotus flower blossom, and there, the God within is there waiting for you to greet you. And this is one of the most ancient secret prayers, and this is now it's ideology you can find in all kinds of scriptures, whether it's the Bible, the Quran, whatever. And that, like here, I'm showing you in Psalms 23 how the whole thing again is implemented as a process that starts you from the ground roots, and then we rise, and each line is depicting that position of rising. Okay. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. You know, every time you said that, you feel that in the heart. Yeah, I'm fearless, man. The fearless warrior. I've got the willpower. I've got the strength. I've got the prana. I've got the ability. Note that this prayer, this line in the prayers, moved from addressing God in the third person to the more endearing personal relationship of I and thou. So very important. Like I said, that ancient meditation. Most people say, yeah, man, God, they're out there. God, yeah. He's the omnipresent, he's omnipotent, he's the omnipresent, is everything and everything. But they don't realize that anything and everything is radiating from the heart. You feel less worthy to think, yeah, he's out there, but he's not within me so much. He's more out there than he is with. That's the complete wrong concept. Okay? It is crucial. It is a crucial part of spirituality and spiritual evolution to move beyond merely following God's law to personally loving him purely within one's heart and transcend to developing a personal relationship with God, not an impersonal one. At this stage of spiritual growth, one must develop the attitude of recognizing that God is a supreme person with a supreme personality and supreme intelligence, with the omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent ability to reside in your heart. Don't worry about him out there, son, all over there. Don't worry about in my heart. It's in your heart. You understand? There's no judgment going on. He's always there. He's just waiting for you. And when I'm saying he, it's a he, she. It's both. It's unilateral in the aspects of gender. So I'm not trying to be. Anyway, let's not get into that. You will understand that. So, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy might, with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and thy neighbor as thyself. Now, this is, oh wow, this is one of the things in spirituality that is so overlooked. As you grow in spirituality, you have to realize that God is everywhere. As much as he's within you, he's in the sinner, he's in the stone. There's a saying, God sleeps in the stone, stirs in the grass, rises in the animal, and sleeps in the stone, stirs in the grass, awakens in the animal, and rises in man. So, and that's just a saying, that's a slogan, but it's an impression to give you the idea that he is everywhere. And when you reach that place where you are the well-wisher of all, when you are compassionate to all, when you are how would I say it? When you see all with an equal eye, you see the baby and the priest is the same. You see the murderer and the lover the same. There's an equal equilibrium. You understand? It's the actions of the being that may be wrong, not the being. You understand? So you have to understand that behind all life force, it's the same one God we are dealing with. And yes, when we feel the indwelling Lord in our hearts, it gives us true courage, and we can face great difficulties with calmness. Indeed, there is nothing to fear, for even if death comes, the devotee knows that nothing is lost, for the soul is united with God through the heart's love. It is written, we know this one in the Bible, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Okay? One of the most important elements in spiritual healing is opening the heart to God. First, a person needs to feel he is a child of God and can receive his love, casting aside any issues of unworthiness or fear. You know, so I speak to my mother this week, and I've been telling her, Mama, we really want you to come on the Zoom and come bless up everybody who come. I love her prayer them, and she called me. Imagine she called me just when I was doing this particular slide. She's called me out of the blue and she said, Trevor,
me get a dream. And me get up and me say, oh God, me have to call you because you're doing so good. We want you to tell the people them that Jeremiah verse 1 to verse 6, the potters, where he was instructed to work with the potter's clay, and then got to work with the potter's clay, and the pot broke and then a mash up and then fix it to how he want it as best as he can, and it still was accepted. So I said to Mom, wow, look at that. Style and style can't spoil. Wherever you are in life, no matter how unworthy you are, that's just, how unworthy you feel you are. It's a lie that you're telling yourself. It's a lie. Everyone is worthy. And it's just for you to recognize that, align yourself with that, and become and sense that worthiness of grace. It's always there for you. It will never turn its back on you. It's for you to reach that place where you want to dive into the essence of being, where you know you are worthy of God's love. You know that you are worthy of radiating that love within, and that love within will radiate love back to you. Okay? From here, he or she can begin to express gratitude to God for life's myriad blessings, and most profoundly for the love of God felt in the heart. So, heart chakra, very important. Okay? This is where you develop the fearlessness to be in alignment with the God within. Fifth chakra, at the throat, ether element, calmness, feeds the throat and voice. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. The rod and the staff. The neck is the narrowest part of the body, consisting only of the spine and the throat. The staff represents the spine. The rod represents authority, your authority to be. Okay? The breath and spine are the pathways to feel God's presence and calmness. Feel the breath moving in the throat. Begin to feel that this current of breath is related to the current in the astral spine. So it's not just a physical thing. Don't take it for granted. There's myriads of miracles that are happening every second. They say the journey to heaven is all in the spine. That's the staff right there. So all the chakras are lined up with the spine. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Okay? When we are living in alignment with higher truth, the flow of energy in the spine reminds us of our divine nature and is a comfort to us. No matter if the outward drama is disturbing, no matter what going on in the world, you're cool within yourself. You know, so you have your poise of divinity within you. You don't have to let the noise pollution outside affect you in any which way at all. Just stay in your alignment of truth. Okay? When they say sit up, put your back straight, man, fix up. You know, all postures, you know, like I'm sure it was Dr. Mark said it a few weeks ago, that alignment, sitting up correctly is very important because it brings about an attitude of being, just sitting up straight, keeping your spine straight. That's what brings out your authority. You can't be authoritative like this, crouched down, okay? You have to be upright. Sixth chakra at the spine, at the spiritual eye. Again, like I was saying, when you get all of this right, this stuff just turns on automatically. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. What could that mean to the sixth chakra? In all of life, there exists a bountiful table set before us. The spiritual eye sees it all. If we focus there deeply, we are invited to dine with the Lord in his light. If thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. This light feeds the whole body, and it is there for us, no matter if the enemies we face are our own lower tendencies or outer difficulties. Thus, this line can be paraphrased. Though my enemies of doubt and desire and delusion still surround me, the light of the third eye instantly recharges my body when I offer myself there. So in the meditation, when you're upright and you're just there and you're focused, doubt leaves you, fear leaves you, anxiety leaves you, depression leaves you, all these lower states of being, they go. Right, man, have to speed up. Okay, this is the crown chakra at the top of the head, the crown chakra, 1,000-petal lotus, union with the divine. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Isn't that beautiful, people? This is when the energy has reached the crown chakra, and you just feel this flooding of energy of being come over you, be over you. Visualize the divine pouring grace upon you, and your being fills with life, spilling out over the crown chakra. The Lord touches us with his grace. Thou anointest my head with oil, bringing the state of samadhi. Samadhi is known as renunciation, okay? When you're in that state where you have no taste for the outside world, you're in a place where you're just happy, just being in that, resonating with the divine, resonating with the power of grace, and let grace work on your behalf. Let grace turn you into that magnet of being the attractive, not the attractor. When you're the attractive, everything comes to you. Everything that you need to survive will come to you automatically. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to start worrying and fret, oh, where am I going to get this money from? Oh, where am I going to get this from? Where that from? You're in that space. From you started, I shall not want, and now you're at a place. My cup runneth up. The oil as well. This is the water turning into the ojas, and it's come up and it's just flooding your whole entire being. There's so much to get out of this. But again, boy, I wish I had more time. So let's just keep it moving. It may stop at this point, samadhi of the body, or it may expand into full samadhi of cosmic consciousness. So this is when once you get the taste for this, one day you're gonna come and say, you know something, I don't want to do nothing else but just stay in this vibration completely. And this is an elevation of your spiritual growth. It's nothing to force yourself into, okay? You don't have to jump into it tomorrow, but it's something that you're progressing towards. Feel the grace of divine protection and goodness and the willingness to cooperate with that grace. On the deepest level, this verse represents the ultimate goal of the spiritual path. If this union is permanent, we are fully reunited with God and need go no more out. We dwell in the house of the Lord forever, never leaving his presence again. It is helpful to affirm and aspire towards this higher state, reminding us of our divine birthright. For as we think, so we become. So beautiful. I think I've reached the last slide. I've been burning. But I mean, I like race these things, but time. Beautiful message. So Lord's, that 23rd Psalms, what I've just shown you, is something for you to all embrace and take it on a personal day-to-day level. And as you say, just feel the energy rising. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And you're going up and you're going up. I shall fear no evil, blah, blah, da, 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 da. Just imagine the energy rising. Every time you do the prayer every day. It's a mantra. It's a way of being. Okay? Beautiful.